Happy Wednesday, YouTube! We are here again with another Legacy Locals footage review. This is Rick versus Pat. So it looks like Rick is on some sort of Nickfit deck, and I believe Pat is on a 4-color Zenith or a 5-color Zenith list. Doesn't look like he's revealing a Yorion, so it's not a Yorion Zenith deck. But two creature decks in Legacy. Even though Legacy is now becoming heavily influenced by modern creatures, like 4-color Zenith decks have been popping up over the last few years, whereas Nickfit has been a mainstay deck as a budget strategy for a long time because of this card, Veteran Explorer. I do apologize for the video quality. I forgot to adjust the focus. So here we are. Pat started with a Windswept Heath into an Elvish Reclaimer, and then Rick responded with Forest into Veteran Explorer. So we see Pat considering a Windswept Heath here. He has Orcish Bowmasters, Guy's Cradle. He's double checking the wording on Veteran Explorer, so whenever it dies, or whenever it goes to the graveyard, both players may search their land or search their libraries for 2 basic land cards and put onto the battlefield. Rick draws for turn. Plays Verdant Catacombs and immediately cracks it. Searches for Underground Sea. So not very budget anymore. Hey everyone, Ben from the future here. Just want to make a correction here. Rick is not playing Nickfit. We're going to hear later on that he's actually just playing a different style of Aluren. So in response to this Cabal Therapy, Pat is going to flash in Orcish Bowmaster. Cracking the Windswept Heath, he should be at 18. Searches for Savannah. So I don't know what he named. So we're going to trigger the Veteran Explorer. Cabal Therapy was cast and then sacked. So he searches for Double Island. There's a lot of blue. So this is now convincing me that this is not a Nickfit list. So if you guys know what deck it is, I'm sure I won't find out by the end of it, but if you guys know what it is in the comments, please enlighten me. So he's going to reveal his hand off from the Cabal Therapy. So there's a Dryad Arbor, Bajuka Bog, Guy's Cradle, and I think that is a natural order from the looks of it. We won't be able to confirm until we see a little bit more of the card. So Pat is going to draw for turn. Does have quite a bit of power on board. Only 2 lands in the graveyard, so Elvish Reclaimer is not a 3/4 yet. It's still a 1/1. Pat gonna play Bajuka Bog, gonna Bajuka Bog Rick. Okay, so the Cabal Therapy wasn't cast twice. It looks like Pat pinged it with the Bowmasters to kill it, and that's why the second Cabal Therapy didn't go off. So Pat going to cast Natural Order. I think Rick is cast a Brainstorm, put 2 cards back, resolving Natural Order. So Natural Order resolved, sacking the Elvish Reclaimer, got Atraxa. They're gonna flip, reveals Once Upon a Time, Natural Order, Windswept Heath, Swords to Plowshare, Ignoble Hierarch, Birds of Paradise, a couple lands, and a Green Sun Zenith. So gets all that he can. Looks like he goes for the Green Sun Zenith over another Natural Order. I'm very curious, if Rick cast the Brainstorm, why is the Orc a 1/1? So there's an Uro from Rick. Plays a Tundra. Pat draws return. It's another Green Sun Zenith. Down comes Gaia's Cradle. And that is a real foil Gaia's Cradle. Just so you guys know. Cast a Birds of Paradise for 1 green mana. So Green Sun for 3. Or sorry, X is 2, looks like. Wonder, what is the 2? Is it just a... Oh, it's an Allosaurus Shepherd. Okay, so X could be 1 and he could be floating 1 green. So attacking for 11. Oh, I think the... Oh, the Bowmaster is a 4. Sorry, it's just because my camera is out of focus, it looked like just a single pip instead of a number. So yes, the Orc Army is a 4/4. Tapping 1 blue for a Ponder. I think you saw Cabal Therapy land. Rick is going to draw 1 card off of this Ponder. See if he can get something started. There's a Cabal Therapy off the top. Does not amass. There is no Orcish Bowmasters on the battlefield. Gonna tap 2 for a Baleful Strix. Surprising that this card is still being played. And it looks like we're just gonna go to game 2. We are starting game 2. Pat currently up 1 game. Rick gonna be most likely on the play here. Looking like he is going to 6. Pat gonna look at his opening 7 and decides he's gonna keep. I'm not sure what the first card is that Rick drew. Birds of Paradise, Swords to Plowshare in Pat's hand. Bayou as well. Looks like there's a Wooded Foothills and a Natural Order in there. Rick keeps his 6, bottoms 1, goes and plays Misty Forest for first land for the turn. Pat opens with Bayou into Birds of Paradise. Rick draws a Pernicious Deed off the top. There's a Swamp for his land for the turn. You're going to crack the Misty Rainforest. Most likely going to grab a Tundra here. Oh, he goes for Island. I'm very curious as to why. If he has access to Veteran Explorers, he's supposed to be ramping into his basics. And Pat has not shown to show any kind of land hate. So... uses the Island and the Swamp to cast a Baleful Strix, draws a card, looks like it's a Bayou off the top. Pat draws for his turn, it is a Forest. Looks like he has an Allosaurus Shepherd that he's considering casting here. So, cracking the Wooded Foothills. Does he have a 3-drop to play rather than just the Allosaurus Shepherd? He could also be playing the Allosaurus Shepherd to make sure that nothing of his gets countered. I do suspect that Rick is probably playing Force of Wills because he is playing Brainstorms and Ponders. So taps 1 for Allosaurus Shepherd from the Birds of Paradise, so he still has Savannah Bayou up. Tapping 1 green for an Elvish Reclaimer from the Bayou, so still has green-white up. Passes back to Rick. Rick draws for turn. Looks like it is a Verdant Catacombs. Plays the Bayou that he drew from the Baleful Strix. Casts Pernicious Deed for 3 mana. Passes back to Pat. Pat has an Endurance in hand. Also, so he has Swords to Plowshare, Natural Order, Endurance, and a basic Forest. Going to Swords to Plowshare the Baleful Strix at the end of the turn. Going to draw. Draws a Windswept Heath. Plays Windswept Heath for turn. Are we going to see Natural Order? Going to attackers first. Attacks for 2 with the Elvish Reclaimer and the Allosaurus Shepherd. Most likely going to tap for 4, sacrifice the Elvish Reclaimer, cast a Natural Order. Same play as we saw last game. Cracks the Windswept Heath, deciding what land to fetch. Going to be another Bayou. So Bayou Savannah is Pat's land base right now. Tapping for 4. Natural Order. Sacrificing Birds of Paradise this time. Rick not going to be able to do anything. Pat immediately finds Atraxa. So he's going to dig top 10 and pick a card type for each. A different card type. As many card types as he can. Reveals Gaia's Cradle, Swords to Plowshares, Forest, Grist, Windswept Heath, Ignoble Hierarch, Birds of Paradise, Bajuka Bug, Fairy Macabre. Immediately picks Green Sun Zenith, Grist, Fairy Macabre, Gaia's Cradle. So I don't think he can pick Fairy Macabre and Grist. Grist counts as a creature. He can. Is it in addition to its other types? Ah, it's a 1/1 insect creature in addition to its other types. So it can be found as a planeswalker with Atraxa. Okay, so Rick casting Cabal Therapy after playing a Verdant Catacombs. Gonna pick the Grist and pass the turn. Alright, so Pat plays Gaia's Cradle for turn. Imagine he's just gonna swing with everything here. So he's tapping for 4 mana, 3 from the Gaia's Cradle, 1 from the Bayou. He is going to cast Green Sun Zenith for X equals up to 3. Looks like his primary targets for Natural Order and Green Sun Zenith are Atraxa and Craterhoof. So off the Green Sun Zenith, he's going to find an Endurance, and he's going to put the Graveyard into the bottom of Rick's library. Going to attack for 6. Is it much more? 8? Gonna crack the Verdant Catacombs. Find a forest. So the question is, does Rick have a way to deal with Atraxa? Even if he can deal with the Atraxa, Pernicious Deed can blow up 1 mana to get rid of the Elvish Reclaimer and the Allosaurus Shepherd, but he still needs a way to deal with the Endurance if he does have an answer to the Atraxa. If he doesn't have an answer to the Atraxa, he's in a very problematic state. There's a Force of Will off the top. Plays Savannah and passes the turn. Does he have a trick up his sleeve? There's a Green Sun Zenith off the top for Pat. Forest down for the land for turn. And swinging in with the team. Activate Pernicious Deed. Oh, so it blows up everything that he pays for and under. Okay, so he deals with the Endurance and the Elvish Reclaimer and Allosaur Shepherd all at the same time. So Pat responds back by just casting Allosaur Shepherd again. There's a Verdant Catacombs, cracks the Verdant Catacomb, and commits Sudokus. Okay, so the card that he drew first was Aluren. So it is an Aluren style deck. So those were two very quick games. Didn't get to see the Aluren combo go off. Pat's deck was just really fast. Had zero interaction with the Allosaur Shepherd. Denied all of the Force of Wills. And just beat Rick down. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you again on Friday.